Well, the train is down there, so we are stopping. This is our excuse at the antique store, and they got some cool signs like Northwestern and Mobile Gas and whatever. Let's go in and buy something. The Crazy Picker Life with Wheeler, Dealer, and Banana Peeler. Good morning, fellow pickers and would-be adventurers. Dealer with the Crazy Picker Life. It's Saturday morning. We're up reasonably early for how late we got back in yesterday and a long day. Well, we got a little weather out here today, a little rain, drizzle, and we're all packed up, ready to go. Today is going to be sort of a slow, meandering day downtown here in Grand Island. We're going to try to get into a couple of these antique stores that we've had luck pulling out of a few things here. I pulled out a Schlitz silver tray from about the turn of the century a few years back for 25-30 bucks and flipped it real quick for 100. I probably, knowing what I know now, would have either got more out of it or kept it. Is probably a better idea. I also bought one of these little toy boat Evinrude motors from the 40s or 50s for 100 something and sold it quick for close to 300. And the boat attached to it I sold separately, made a few $100s. Wheeler bought a camera bag of high-end Nikon stuff out of there. So if you know what you're looking for, if you can find the oddball stuff, you can do pretty well. Okay, so we're all checked out of the hotel. We're gonna go do that. I'm gonna give you a quick peek at our packing job here, and hopefully we don't get the camera wet. It's not spitting too much. So everything sort of fit in here. Every packing job is different. I try to consolidate things as much as possible and get them in here so they don't clink together too much. Soft stuff, fragile stuff like that sign in the blanket to the top, heavy stuff to the bottom. We ended up, because it was dripping pretty good this morning, just crushing that ham sign down on the bottom, and the other beer sign is also down there, the one I can't ever remember the name.
Country Club.
There's my helper. I gotta have a couple brains with me that can remember everything. Are we all in?
Yep.
I want to get that beer lamp home safely.
Hopefully.
Well, every time you break a few eggs, but what can you do? We do the best we can do. Wheeler, you up there?
Yep.
Not gonna leave you here?
Nope.
All right, I gotta pick a garbage bag out of here and get rid of this. Okay, on the road. Well, our first stop today, Wheeler satisfies his personal watch habit.
Well, there's nothing else that I could buy, but I got an Orient Mako diver watch.
Gonna go diving?
Yep. It's gonna be pretty cool.
So what do you call your watch? Collection bug? What do you?
I don't know. Just watch hobby.
Hobby. Okay. Well,
Like
what a watch? What do they call people who collect watches?
Well, it's horologists.
Horologists.
Horology is the, well, it's vintage watches, old watches.
So if you're a
history of them.
horologist, are you a short for whore? What? What
I don't know where that comes from. It's just.
I'll have to do some.
It's clocks, is what it is.
Clockologist.
Yeah.
So we were at Express Pawn, and they had some decent stuff in there, but right on the bubble. And as far as camera stuff, when we are full of camera stuff, we don't
We picky choosy.
Guy's doing some refinishing on something down here. So there's all different kinds of antique stores I've talked about a little bit before in the past. And down here in downtown Grand Island, there's a couple antique malls where we picked out some really cool stuff, and a couple more boutique-y and I don't know if high-end, but specialty like glassware and lamps. We picked out a few things. I don't know what. There's a mystery in that box we'll have to show.
Don't fly.
Working on the fly. And we got a nice Miller sign and nice BP. I don't think you can see my beer crate down there, but I got a super awesome, super rare beer crate I'll have to show off. I'm convinced that I'll list it for $300 plus shipping. It's awesome. And the typical cameras and typical stuff like that. I didn't bring the camera along earlier. It was dribbling and dripping, and I guess I needed a break from it or whatever. I'm just not in tune with running with the camera today. We've got some topics to talk about today if needed. What you got there?
$150 to $200 watch.
Where'd that one come from?
Came in free with the magic lantern.
Really?
I started looking at it and I was like, whoa, it has all these functions on here. If these are actually real, this is actually a real nice one.
Did you look at that?
No, I didn't look at that.
Menu?
I saw Scoggin. I was like, it's a nice enough watch. I paid $5 for it.
What was the price on it?
10. Yep. So there you go.
Pay for the magic lantern.
Yep. That's a much nicer one than I thought.
Watches are good. Easy to ship. There's just there's a lot to know, and there's a lot of pitfalls. Same with anything that you want to become specialized in. Let's see, what else did we get? Saw some neat stuff. Saw some real interesting signs and crates. Just nothing that is right in our wheelhouse. Okay, I think we're gonna try to hit another pawn. Do we got another pawn store to hit?
Yeah.
Another pawn store. Possibly on the way out, maybe a thrift store, and then I think we're gonna start heading down the road. Right now, if we leave now, we get home at about 6 if we don't eat. So or pick, which is ridiculous, but we want to get back to the shop early enough tonight to unload and probably print some invoices and answer some questions before our day off tomorrow, day off from work, and maybe relax and watch some Star Trek.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Who knows? Cold beer waiting. We got cheese popcorn waiting. What?
I've got to talk in this super cool voice or I sound all squeaky.
Yeah, maybe you're entering puberty.
Super cool voices.
Maybe you're entering puberty voice. Wheeler used to have a squealy voice.
Yeah, Wheeler!
Oh, he still does. Never mind. Well, we just went into Swede's Gun Shop, GI Loan and Pawn Jewelry Repair. Lots of guns. Not much for cameras. No beer signs. Not much for watches. Not much else. Wherever there's used stuff, you can shop. Of course, wherever there's new stuff, some people shop too. Chewing a cookie. So I was thinking about talking about on the way home a little bit, sometime down the road when we get done picking in town here, how much we negotiate and save over the listed price or the first price offered. I was going to talk to Wheeler about that a little bit because we've spent we spent probably close to $3,000 on this trip. I don't know, I have to total up. $2,000, somewhere between $2,000 and $3,000. Yeah, I don't know. I've kind of lost track. Probably between $2,000 and $3,000, maybe under $2,500. And we have negotiated off of rack price or first offered price quite a substantial amount with bundling and everything else we do. So that might be interesting. I don't know. I like to talk about that. All right, so Antiques Franken Tools, Farmer's Family Store, and Teresa's Treasures. Trying to get out of the area, but we just can't stop shopping. Well, if it's one of my least favorite things, it's muddy roads. But we came out to this place. I guess I'll have to turn around, and they had a lot of signs and they do some booths and things like that. No metal beer signs. They had a couple plastic ones that were alright. Had a Coors one that was alright. If I never found anything, and I had to go home with my tail between my legs. I might buy one of those, but today I got other good stuff, and I got some metal beer signs already, so there's no way I'm gonna hang my tail low. Try to turn around here without getting stuck in the mud. It rained a little bit here. It didn't really rain enough to get buttery, but old van here, trusty and rusty, but not very good in the mud. Got to get in the Jeep for that. Jeep's clean and at home. So this is a pretty cool sale though. They had a lot of neat stuff back in there. That's a good one. Had some good big gas and oil signs and stuff. Nothing that you could really do much with. Either too big.
Little IGA signs are kind of neat with.
Yeah, plastic. Yeah. So nothing really in our wheelhouse, but these are the kind. These are not the everyday rummage sales. These are the kind of rummage sales I like to go to. That
picker sales.
Picker sales. You
Or
just never know what you're gonna.
Yep.
Never know what you're gonna find. All right, we're still trying to head home and not talk about the corn. So now I'm driving on this slow, stupid stuff. Okay, so Wheeler, what do you think? What is your average markdown that you get when you're negotiating with somebody? And I'm not talking about, I mean, I don't negotiate hard on anything that's priced decent, that's $5 or less. I negotiate on anything $20 or over. I'm usually going to negotiate.
If we have to deal down $5, we're obviously not buying what we need to be buying.
Right.
Well, I see.
Sometimes what I'll do is I'll pay full price on one item in order to get a discount on something else, and I've seen you doing that too.
I just did that in the last deal we did. It wasn't quite the same. I just kind of added it in the last second because I was fine with that price in a lot of cases.
Yeah, and I like how you do that. I'll pay full price for that, but that I need for this, and that's real. That works pretty well.
It really depends on the item how much, but I say average. On average, I'm probably getting 15-20% off.
Okay.
A little bit more than that. It really depends.
Yeah. We were just at an antique store, for example, and they had this beer crate marked 135, and they've got sale signs all over the place, and with cash or with bigger items, typically if you ask, you can get 10% off. So 10% off on that would have been $13.50. Anything more than that, you have to have them call somebody. And on a beer crate item, even though this beer crate, I'm probably going to list it for $300 plus shipping, and I might get that or close to it. I had them call them for $100, and so that that's a pretty good discount. That's more than 20%, probably 25% discount. Yeah. Big ticket items, I don't typically cut it in half, but a lot of times I'll make some talk about it. I'll talk about it a little bit, and I'll say something to the effect like, well, I may be more likely to buy it if I'm at half that. And a lot of times that will give me a gauge where the person is at.
Yeah.
So if it's something that's marked at $225 and we're talking about it for a while, I might say, well, I'm more at like half that, $115, $120. Right there, I'm going to get a gauge, because a lot of times they'll say, well, no, I can't go any lower than $225. I'm not going to go down, like they're in love with it. Or they might say something like, I can easily come down to $200, and that's a whole nother gauge. And then some people will just be like, they think I'm at $115 or whatever. They'll be like, well, my bottom's $150. And so you can get a lot of read off that, as long as you don't do it too roughly. You're not ruffling feathers. I didn't say I was going to give you half that price, or you were going to take half that price, or that's my top thing. It's a conversation starter, but it reels it down right into the. Nah, we got 80 up here.
Okay, we can get back. We can get on 80.
I think we're gonna get on 80 now.
Okay.
We're out of it.
Yeah, I was gonna talk a little bit
about. It says 5 miles.
5 miles to 80.
Huh.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to take a break, and then you talk to me, and we'll talk to it, okay?
Okay.
I got to drive here now.
Yep.
Okay, I'm in a better thing here. So you're talking about, ooh, that ain't it.
No.
That ain't gonna get me under the overpass.
Maybe.
No, there's all those red markers up there.
Yeah.
Okay, do not exit, do not enter, exit only, do not enter. How about turn around? So you're talking about
Negotiation psychology.
your negotiation psychology and
Yep.
okay.
There's a lot of different things that go into that, but obviously you need to kind of read the mood, and there's obviously a lot that goes into that too. So it's just a big. There's been books written on it for a reason. There's a lot that goes into it.
Well, let me ask you this. So you're saying there's all. I mean, there's all kinds of sellers, right?
Yep. All
And
kinds of sellers, all kinds of items. Like the items could have sat there for 10 years, or the guy could be hanging on to them and doesn't want to sell them. Could be gruff. He could be friendly.
There's different kinds of people and different kinds of situations.
Yep. Like if you're there on the first day or there on the last day, you have to know how to read the.
I'll just go back and get on 30.
Yep.
I don't want to go to 80. It's too. I'm not ready to rocket ship yet. Okay, so what do you want to share? What's your technique? I mean, I see you talking to a lot of people and asking questions and sharing a little knowledge on things. I know one other thing that you do is you test the knowledge of your seller.
Yeah.
A lot.
Definitely.
And you know, you're pretty intelligent about cameras and watches, more cameras and watches, but you're coming on. Look at that old thing down in there. Old purple.
Yeah.
Junkyard dog. Where the heck am I? Oh man. Just going back and forth. People are like, what are they doing there? It's going back and forth.
Yeah.
So you test the knowledge, and that's another indicator for you.
Yeah, it is.
What kind of indicator would that be?
Well, it would be, do they know a lot about this item? How have they looked it up? You can kind of gauge that a bit off that. And you can also tell who you're dealing with, because being a lot younger, which this applies to a lot younger people, a lot of people are going to view you skeptically and maybe not give you as good of deals.
Yeah.
Come not address and how they perceive you is another.
Right.
It figures into the whole thing.
Now we're not, you know, we're looking to get good deals. We're not looking to like rip people off or anything like that. However, I mean, if it's a win-win situation, that's what we're after. And if somebody has a piece of camera stuff that's been sitting there for 10 years and they don't know what it is,
they're ready to sell it,
and nobody's come along and bought it, for us to give a reasonable offer and reasonable money for it, and then turn around and describe it right and, you know, do minor clean up and throw away the pieces that need to be thrown away, and then sell it for 10 times the money, that's ethical.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that.
Figuring into like the win-win thing, like you're saying, like if somebody says, I don't know anything about this camera, what will you offer me for it? That's a big decider in there. No.
Is this 30 again?
This is 30, yep.
Okay. So, but then, you know, some people are so attached to their stuff, or so inflexible on their pricing, or just unrealistic in their pricing.
Yep.
Some people, if they bought something for $650 when they originally bought it on their honeymoon, and it's not something that's maintained its value and its market value is 100, they're still wanting to sell it for $650.
Yeah, and instead, one thing I was talking about before with the whole what we offer on something, that this guy is gonna basically, let's just say it's a situation where the guy would basically take whatever offer you gave him. But to be fair and everything, like let's say I can sell this thing for $200, offer him 20 instead of like 10 or 5, or because I don't know exactly how it figures into this stuff, but there's a fairness win-win situation there. He'll be happier with the 20 than if I offer him 5 and kind of pry it from him.
And on other items, I mean, there's items that are fast movers for me, beer items. If I can double my money, that's it. Camera stuff's funny. Some of the stuff, it's long sell. So I mean,
some of it's more of a risk for us if it doesn't work correctly.
Well, and there's mechanical factors. So, you know, when we say 10 times our money on certain things, some people hear that and they're like, man, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You know, you guys are making 10 times your money. No, it doesn't end up 10 times your money.
10 times before expenses and after the risk.
Well, the risk with cameras is high. You can get the thing home and you think you've looked it over, and then the back falls off and it's worth nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just that's a dumb dealer example,
dealer analogy.
Yeah, but that's the truth.
It is.
All right, so you sort of have answered that question. I would say for me, on something average that's marked for $100, and this could be $100 worth of stuff or whatever, I'm probably trying to get 30-40% off whatever's marked.
Yeah, absolutely. I go down to 70, and if it's really something I can't do a lot on, I gauge the person, I try to buy a couple of things from them, or kind of warm them up a little bit, and then I might say, well, I bought this stuff from you, I'm interested in this, but it's a little bit high for me. What do you consider 50? Or something like that, something along those lines. I try to warm up a little bit, and then just kind of see where he's at on that. And he said 70, and then we can go from there.
It's so hard to just talk about the dance, because it is a dance. Mike and Frank on American Pickers talk about the dance. It is a dance, and the dance can end quickly, like with a slap in the face. Or you can just keep dancing and dancing and dancing throughout the night. Absolutely. Practically. And I love to bundle, and I love to throw stuff in. If I like an item and I don't want to pay 20, I'll say, okay, that sounds good, but I'm not sealing the deal, and I walk around a little bit. I'll set it down, I go walk around a little bit, I'll grab something else, and I'll say, you know what, I will pay you 20 if you throw this in. Yep. And to them, the thing is worth $1 or $3 that they're throwing in. To me, it's a $20 bill.
Exactly.
I can sit there and make 20 on that and pay for the item, basically. So I'm going to cut it off here for now. Maybe we'll come up with some more thoughts. Well, the train is down there, so we are stopping. This is our excuse at the antique store, and they got some cool signs like Northwestern and Mobile Gas and whatever. Let's go in and buy something. Okay, dealer went off the rails. Oh my goodness. You ever seen a curved porcelain sign that goes on a pole? I'm gonna have to put it upside down because I'm just gonna reach in here. We'll show it more next week when we do a picking video. This one's cool. Hopefully that shows up. That's Miller High Life 30s porcelain, big bucks. Come on, they said it couldn't be done.
It took us like 30 minutes though.
30 minutes of thoughtful shopping.
Done well.
That's all you get. That's all you have to do. We got beautiful gifts for each and every one of the people home.
They're gonna love them.
They are gonna love them.
You're gonna be like, whoa, dude, man, bruh.
Yeah, we can't show them because they're too beautiful.
That's my new saying.
Okay, we got to get home. I want to get home before dark. I hate transversing this corridor at dark, and here we are on the verge of it. So we got to get down the road. Who knows what we'll find.
Yep.
Lots of gas. Busy place here. We're just about to our turn off. It's so dusty out here. I was just cleaning my windows. Get some pretty good bug splattage on here. We haven't been driving at night super much. Just clean my windows. Feeling good about cleaning my windows. Just wanted to share that with you. Alright, so Wheeler and I are doing a little research on porcelain signs, and more specifically curved porcelain signs, which in reality I didn't even know existed. Currently on eBay there's how many listed?
I think 40 some.
40 listed, and different items, and then like what, 50 or 60 sold?
60 some, yeah, something like that.
So there's a small market for them. porcelain signs, from what we can tell, and it makes sense, were mainly used for outside. And then your research shows that everything else inside and such was cardboard, paper.
At least according to this one source I was reading.
Which I think is partially true in the era of porcelain signs.
1900 to 1930, something like that.
I think later on or somewhere in there, tin signs would have been used both indoor and outside.
Yep.
But not necessarily just inside. So does anybody out there know the ins and outs of curved porcelain signs? I didn't look real closely at the pictures of the ones on eBay, but did you, Wheeler? Are they all the same size ish?
No, definitely a lot of different sizes.
Different curves, or just
different curves.
So I don't know.
Different sizes, different curves.
We're trying to figure out what the heck they go on. The curve is not like the size of a telephone pole. It's not
that small of a diameter.
No, it's a larger diameter, like a pillar. And so about the only thing that we can come up with is the older Victorian style of houses and businesses had pillars for porches, pillars for the front, and made of wood, and those would have been Victorian style or whatever, would have been made in the late 1800s and then survived into the 1900s for the most part. Though a lot of that would rot out and or go away. Now we've all seen some buildings that still have wood pillars, old, medium, or new, but it seems like a real limited deal. And the question is, if you make this curved porcelain sign and it doesn't fit your diameter, then what? I guess you can put some spacers in it to some degree, but it obviously
must have at least some sort of standard to the pillar size.
Well, that's what we're thinking. Yeah. So it's definitely a niche market.
For beer, though, I don't see a lot of them. That seems pretty rare.
Well, yeah, I just bought one, so
yeah,
I may have.
They better be.
I may have cornholed myself there. I'm trying to figure out how to display the thing. I don't have any Victorian pillars. Maybe I'm gonna have to make or buy one. If anybody
knows some of those like inflatable beer cans, sort of that same diameter.
Yeah, try to screw this thing into an inflatable beer can.
Yeah.
Well, we can probably figure out something. 55-gallon drum. I think it's smaller than a 55-gallon drum, though.
It is, yeah. A little bit smaller. So
maybe it went on a keg.
Yeah.
If there are only beer signs, that would be.
Well, actually, I saw one. They said is a root beer sign. The root beer sign came off a keg or a big barrel, is what they said.
Huh.
Or an advertising barrel, or something. I don't know.
Maybe an advertising barrel. But see, a lot of that stuff would have been inside, so that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't follow. So if anybody knows anything, let me know.
Yep.
Oh, back in Colby at Montana Mike's Steakhouse. We're gonna go eat there. Oh wow, 900 miles later, we are back in Colby. Time to eat. I don't even feel like eating. Hungry, somewhere in my body, hungry. Hopefully. So it's good to be home. It's just after 10 o'clock, 10:20 p.m. on Saturday. The good news is we're home. Woo! Bad news, got to reverse the process. So the first step is to get the Jeep out and then unload everything. Wheeler, when we get home, he answers camera questions. I do have some Northwest Kansas questions. Those are going to have to wait. I got to get everything out of the van. I'm hoping to be done and relaxing by 11. That's only 40 minutes, so I got to get on it. Okay, second and last step really is just to unload everything. I got that done. I got about 10 minutes to 11. I'm going to finish this video, upload this video, answer a few questions, and that's Saturday. I'm going to show you a couple pieces. You've probably already seen them, but you may have not seen them unpacked. We will most likely do a formal show and tell on Monday night. Now I'm already sitting on like 40 orders. It's gonna be a tough Monday. I'm probably gonna have to come in at midnight, 12:01 Monday morning, and get started on those. And Monday's gonna be a tough day. So by Monday night, I think I will spend most of my time finishing up orders and unpacking all this stuff, and we'll do a show and tell. Uh-oh, what's going on with the lighting? And then we'll be caught up and start getting into a listing rhythm. I may look kind of winded Monday night. Tomorrow, fun day, Packer party, Packer game. Probably do something in the afternoon with the kids. That'll be a fun video. Let me show you a couple things and I'll end it up. Now this, for $100, you'll never find another one. Even though it's roached, find me another Ham's beer, 3/4 billboard, light, smooth, and mellow for $100. That's really cool. That'll hang on my wall until I'm dead, and it still will look like that, and you can still read it. That's pretty cool. And then this one, oh my goodness, oh, this thing is vibrant and fairly scarce and curved. Miller High Life beer, the best Milwaukee beer. Look at that thing. Curved. Curved for whatever reason. Exactly. I don't know what kind of bracket that would have mounted on. Sure, it's got a little damage there. Bright, shiny, vibrant. Porcelain. Wow, huh? Paid up, but I think somebody's going to pay me more, because where the heck are you going to find one? I've been in signs for 5-6 years, never seen a curve sign quite like that. There are barber pole, barber signs that look like shields. I've seen a few signs that look like shields. That's just, I don't know, it's cool. Okay, this is a crazy picker life. It's been a long weekend, lots of miles, 900 some miles, lots of watches. One of our viewers that leaves comments said, where are the cameras, or something to that effect. We didn't show any cameras. We got a lot of cameras too. We just don't show those all the time anymore, because that's our bread and butter, what we pick up all the time. Lots of watches, lots of miscellaneous. There are quite a few things we didn't show. We'll talk about them. We'll probably have a little time to look some stuff up and get some information on some of these items. So Monday will be fun. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all the comments. I hope to answer some of them. I don't know when I answer comments 2, 3, 4 days later if that really is effective, if anybody catches up or reads them back. I don't know, but I hope to do that when I have a little downtime. Pick while list off and dealer out.
Hey, Wheeler.
Dealer production.